In the Sakya lecture, the first chapter, examination of the wise. In this it says, know the difference between wise people and fools. The wise investigate a situation carefully before taking action on what needs to be done. A fool's approach is to act before thinking. In Tibetan it says, nyebar jungwe chawaga matuppa na jebete kemo nike kebar she tumne jeba lumbe tul. So when one needs to do action, first one needs to use one's own intelligence, one's own brain, whether this action is good or bad, or whether this action can have good or bad result. So one needs to examine before doing the action. Those who are wise, they know by doing this action, it will have this and this effect, or this and this result, or people will react in this or that way. So it's like foreseeing the future. If one has the intelligence, or if one is wise, then it's like foreseeing the future. If one uses the brain or intelligence in a right way at the right time or before the action. And those who don't think properly when they do the action, and actually before doing the action, whether they should do or not is in their own hand. At that time, they have the power to decide whether to do the action or not. And they can use the power through their intelligence. Then they can decide. But if they don't decide, or if they don't think properly before doing the action, and then they just do the action without thinking properly, without examining properly, then after their action, then later when they think about their own action, they think, oh, that is a mistake. I should not do this. Then it is too late. It is too late because the action is already done and it has already made an impact on others, or it already has the effect on oneself or others because of one's own action. So not only a physical action, but even talking, especially when we are talking about some important matters or serious matters, it is very important to be very careful. Should not talk too much. Should not talk without thinking properly. First, one should think carefully. One should think properly. One should use one's own intelligence, thinking whether by saying this or that, it can be helpful or not, it can be beneficial or not. So one should think carefully, and then if one has the confidence that by saying this, it won't harm anybody or it won't make any upset, it won't upset anybody, etc., and it will help others, then one can say. So especially when we are doing important action or serious action, physical action or verbal action, at that time one should think carefully. In worldly life, sometimes we need to make big decisions, we need to say something very important things. So when we do these important actions, we need to be very careful. And also sometimes one need to sign the documents. So at that time also it is important to check carefully, read carefully about the documents, and then one is convinced that this is a good document and there's no fault in this document, then one can sign. If one sign before thinking carefully or before reading carefully, and then after signing, then if one sees that this is a mistake, then it's too late. So when you sign for important documents, first it is very, very important to read carefully and think carefully about the points that are written in these documents. After reading carefully, after thinking carefully, then one can decide whether one needs to sign or not. If one is convinced that it's good to sign, then one can sign after thorough examination or after thinking carefully. So this advice is to think carefully before doing the action. Think before doing the action, not after the action. If we think after the action, then it's too late. Then it's nothing but just cause of regret. Because after the action, if we think, then if we see the mistake, then we just feel regret. Then it's too late. So it is important to think carefully before doing the action.